Another month goes by, which means it's time for some more computer gaming world issues here on Retro Games with Nick. Hi, folks. Welcome to a new required reading episode. We're gonna try and change the format just a little bit. The videos were a little too long. Took a little too long to make, and also there was just a lot of dead air. We're gonna focus a little bit more on just using this required reading, not so much to look at people's opinions on stuff at the time, but really just to get an idea of what games came out and what games we're interested in checking out. Okay. And as usual, if you look in the description, you will see a summary of the things we've seen, where they're available, and some things of the sort. So we're going to try to cover 2 issues also per episode of required reading now, which is going to make the series also bi-weekly, bi-month, 2 times a month, every 2 weeks, however you want to say that. So we're going to start the month of May by looking at the May 1989 issue. There was an issue of Computer Gaming World in May of 1984. It only came out every 2 months at the time. We can see there is a Middle Earth war game. This was, of course, way before Lord of the Rings became very big in mainstream culture, but it was still pretty big in like nerd culture in general. SimCity seems to be releasing around this time. None of the other titles that I see on the page ring any bells to me, so this is going to be interesting. Electronic Arts Skate or Die ad. It's been 8 years since I've covered the world of computer games. That's cool to know. Mm-hmm. It's interesting that they had developers react to some of their articles and they would publish it. Did we read a review of Might and Magic 2? I don't think we did. Boy, Scorpia is some people like her, some people really don't. Scorpio responds, whether or not someone agrees with my bottom line assessment is not important. What is important is that enough information be presented in the article itself for the reader to make his or her own judgment to purchase the game. This is why my reviews are so detailed nonetheless over the flaws. It's like, why would you even... this was another time, right? I guess this is the equivalent of today somebody responding to a mean comment on Twitter. Were people working on? Oof, Ghosts and Goblins. Rough. A Honeymooners game. These little previews are just so weird. It's just like one screenshot. Clay that started publishing their strategic stuff. Dial M for Mortar. You can decide on a title for its articles. Please choose the one you like best and let us know on your RAD card which one you pick. Mortar Day Road. So our strategy adventure game, we're in Middle Earth. 3 levels, 3 different degrees of detail. Full map is an overview of the whole of Middle Earth. Campaign level, orders are given once the game is played. On animation level, gives you magnifying view at a single location on the map. This is interesting. I wish there were more screenshots of it instead of just the one. This one is worth checking out. So this is the required reading, May 89 and 94. War in Middle Earth. And they reviewed here the Amiga version, but it was also available on PC, so we might look at the DOS version. I don't have a good way of like checking different versions of the same game on different platforms at this time. I need to kind of figure out a way to do that because I don't really know. Oh, I guess I might have the ROMs for the Amiga. Just an ad for a bunch of games by title. PC games. I wonder if this Renegade, if this was the arcade port or more close to the NES. This was SSI before they started doing the Dungeons and Dragons games. Oh, and next month we'll talk about Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Somehow you would only learn that Right Computer, a mail order software firm which has been advertised in CGW and elsewhere, may be out of business. Any readers who can offer additional information are invited to call a number. And it's just like, what? God, the late 80s were wild. They already are calling the CDI to be dead. And they were probably right. Original SimCity. It's good. You know, it's a classic. There's a reason why it's a classic. It might be worth checking out at some point. I make a note of it. Oh, top ad? Are we literally giving a prize to the best ad? That's weird. Bad Dudes. Reviewed on IBM. Double Dragon. Reviewed on Commodore 64. Oh, this is some more screenshots of War from Middle Earth, or War in Middle Earth, I guess. War in Middle Earth, yes. Screenshots don't look great. They're all from the same type of screen. Sword of Sudan. Oh, this looks like a bad beat 'em up kind of thing. Renegade. Kind of looks like the NES version a little bit. Activision's Prophecy. Feels like an Ultima style game. Guardians of Infinity. To save Kennedys, build an interactive strategy text adventure. Oh, we did see. Did we see an ad for this one? You just travel back in time to try and stop Kennedy from dying. Oh, a sub simulator, no thank you. What is this? Can you imagine if this was the box that you got? Star Saga 1 Beyond the Boundary. 600 characters and unparalleled role-playing depth, living in an epic science fiction adventure, tactics and strategy of a challenging board game, an expert computer game master, moderating the actions of 1 to 6 players. Star Saga 1 Beyond the Boundary. It's a multimedia entertainment experience that will sweep you off your feet. I'm actually mildly curious. Star Saga, colon, 1. Um, Deja Vu 2, Lost in Las Vegas. I think this is from the people that made Myst off the top of my head. ICOM Games. They're based in Illinois. They're best known for creating the MacVenture series of adventure games, including Shadowgate. So they were the Shadow. Okay, Deja Vu is the Shadowgate people. And in due time, no, they didn't really. They closed. They had a lot of Beavis and Butthead. I don't know why they made so many Beavis and Butthead games. It really feels like they kind of topped it at the 4 original things that they made. Lunar game copied onto your disk. I'll check it out. I want to check it out. Deja Vu 2. Under the Ice. Oh, Submarine Warfare. Hell no. I'm out. Scavengers of the Mutant World. That's a role playing game. Bottom line, not recommended. Moving on. Encyclopedia of War Ancient Battles. Game writing was very edgy at the time. I guess it sometimes still is, but I love the it's pretty safe assumption you could hold a worldwide convention of ancient history buffs at a Holiday Inn in Skokie, Illinois, and still have room for a Shiner's banquet. Jesus. Yeah, this is just straight up war game. Yeah. Anything else? Spec issues available. Next Empire. Complete computer moderated game over 6 years into making each universe a unique, complex gaming environment. You pay $20 for a setup manual universe map in first 3 turns. After that, it's $6 per turn. Jesus Christ. But they did start to make the SSI started making the AD&D games. No, okay. I was wondering if they still existed, but no, it's a Sync Games. What's the first AD&D game that they made? Heroes of the Lance in '88 was the first one, but I think this is a different one. No? Okay, maybe not. Then Hailsfire was the next one. This was the first one of that kind, I think. Mixed reviews from critics. And I guess that's it. That was the 1989 May edition of Computer Gaming World. As usual, if you want to read through it, feel free to go ahead and download it from the CGW Museum. I really love how good of an archiving effort CGW has in terms of their old stuff, which is why we're mostly using them. But I don't really have a lot to add, and I'm not that deeply invested in that area. So let's move on to something that is a little bit more interesting, which is the 1994 issue. SimCity 2000. That's funny. Disciples of Steel. Battle Drome. Shadowrun for the Genesis. Do you find yourself looking for the nearest off-ramp from the information superhighway? Yes, please. Give me the exit ramp from this article too, personally. Which, okay, to be fair, this is hard to do, right? You have to write a whole page editorial every month about what's happening in the industry. We're just far enough removed that it's very hard to read these articles because you know what happened and what didn't. So to Mr. Wilson writing this editorial at the time, there were so many possible futures and paths and direction that things could go. And if we look back at it, there's just one main path that we're seeing. Cody's Awards. Do they still exist? They might still exist. Yeah, I guess since 1986. So this must be. Where the finalists of this year. Ugh. AI big data. Let me just barf right on my screen right now. What about the educational? Definitely a completely different thing than what we're currently looking at. 27% of US households had one or more personal computers. The AWA32 card had just been released. This is what we use in our simulated like early aughts PC that we played Silver on most recently. We're gonna skip this because I'm already just bored. More flight sims, bored. Nope. Oh god, what is with all the flight sim? Righteous Fire. Spectre VR. Oh, okay. It's just a video game. There's no actual VR involved. VR is just the inspiration for what things look like. Rhodes Scholar. We can learn all about the unknown attractions of the United States. Let me write this down. Rhodes Scholar. And for the first System Shock. Star Trek Judgment Rights, but just the CD version. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, cool, I guess. Train to Train Warfare and Arctic Baron. What is this? Is this a sim? Boost up your train? Good God. In order to commit suicide, press the left button or the right button to cancel. What is going on here? Train to Train Warfare, huh? I'm curious about this. This is probably not good. Arctic Baron. Net for Beneath a Still Sky? Star Trek 25th Anniversary CD, I guess, version. Which is like, I mean, we know it's a good game. And they did have the original cast, which I guess is pretty cool. And for Elder Scrolls Arena, still the lady with her very useful armor here. I did read a oh, I wouldn't butcher it, but I did read a funny joke. You know how the planes that got back were hit in certain spots, and people wanted to cover it, but they were the spots that did not get hit were the ones that actually made the planes fall. That's kind of what this brings to mind. Letting it play the Japanese side on the Pacific Air War, I think again was a very interesting choice at the time. Here they're just reviewing a whole bunch of strategic space games, huh? 5 X-Wings is what we're aiming for. Let's see how many they gave. 5 X-Wings, 5 X-Wings. Oh, these are coming up, and Command and Conquer is getting close to release, it seems like. Dune 2. Yeah, you know, the game that invented RTS games. That makes sense. Global Conquest kind of gets there. Not a full 5, but 4 plus. Master of Orion also gets 4 plus. I appreciate that they're being a little stingy with the best of the best kind of thing. I guess it was just the one, huh? Even one commander and one commander 2 are getting 4 plus. First Lords of the Realm from Impressions, coming soon. Learn poker from the best in the West. Sit down at the Cowboy Casino. How to pick sound cards. Skip. Evolution Lost in Time. Oh yeah, SimCity 2000, they talked about last time on how to arrange things. So this is just more of how things work. Block configuration. Block configuration, but just for the there's a lot of commercial stuff for some reason. We've never played SimCity 2000, so it's hard to get invested in this. But it's cool that they did the very deep dive on how the game thinks of these parameters and how to get around them. And you know, this modular block idea is essential in all of these city building games because I remember this is why I really enjoyed playing through Zeus by Impression Games, is because I figured out the perfect block where, you know, people would be happy enough, they would have access to enough things, buildings wouldn't collapse because people would walk around, make sure that didn't happen, and I could just take that block and copy and paste it and have different neighborhoods in a way. Um, I don't care. No wimps. Big race. Oh, can you imagine the poor dude that had to like show up and get this kind of makeup? Hmm. Jeez, that's 8 consecutive pages of ads. This is like a puzzle game of sorts with lasers and balls and things, huh? Let's sim toolkit. Yeah, no, that's fine. I'm good. Just looking at Mist is an adventure. Imagine what playing it must be like. Yeah, we should play some Mist. Oh, let's read Scorpia's adventures in Elder Scrolls Arena. Math and magic meets Ultima Underworld at a very large scale. Many quests. First person perspective, scrolling animations, cursor control. You hold on the button and you move it and how you want to swing it. Apparently it's satisfying. Mm-hmm. The main quest is about collecting a staff of sorts. You don't have a party, it's just you, right? Yeah. Annotating maps, which is cool. Kind of want to check out Elder Scrolls Arena. Spread of character classes based on the standard trio. They do the thing that Bethesda games do with questions and stuff. Talk to the rulers. Travel time. Oh, quests have deadlines. Oh, that's a bummer. The fur isn't very stable. Bethesda issues right from the start. It's just too big and repetitive. Like, I feel like the following paragraph could be said verbatim about Starfield. The real problem, however, is that in a game of this size, everything eventually becomes mechanical and repetitive. Conversations on the street with the passerby or in taverns with the barkeeps are limited to a fixed menu of choices. In every town, you must walk around to find all the stores and inns. The towns themselves are much the same, with little to distinguish them from one another. Even the quests become repetitive after a while. The game is very disconnected. Every quest seems to exist in its own little universe. The friendly game. Amusing detail, but too wide of scope. So good. Maybe underwhelming a little bit, lacking a general sense of direction, but good. Oh, this is the game that we were always seeing the ads for. What is this about? Oh shit, this was made by Toys for Bob? Which closed recently, right? Microsoft closed it. Well, maybe not. Maybe they spun off. Okay. Yeah, no, they just the Horde. There it is. Yeah. They started with Star Control and the Horde. Pandemonium, of course. A bunch of just Disney and stuff like that. What you call them? Licensed games. And Skylanders. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy. Well, Crash Bandicoot 4th but time I didn't like as much. Um, and then fucking Activision hit, you know? Fucking Activision. But I had no idea Toys for Bob were already around at this time. When a colonized virgin tract of land ensure it develops, you can only perform small feats of terraforming, ensure shadows or have clear plots. You dig moats, build fences and walls, hard knights and archers, and try to stop the horde. You have 2 minutes, then the horde comes, and then you gotta beat them. It feels a little dungeon keepery in a way. Yeah, ship this out. This was the time where everybody was making a CD-ROM version of all the games, huh? Shareware compilations. That's funny. Oh, this is a shoot 'em up game. This is somebody just playing a base. Oh no, this is a game called Pursuit Dependent. So this is just a baseball sim. Oof, that's rough. I mean, it's very good. It's like the people that play Football Manager every year. It's like the game is great. It knows its audience and it knows what it's doing. I would never touch it. Please do an overall review of World War II games. And this is probably it. Ads, war game. Opponents wanted for BBS. Ads. More war games. War games. Out of the Dead. We need to check it out just because of how terrible it is considered to be. I didn't make a note of Al-Kazim already. I did not realize that this was an AD&D Al-Kadim. Something tells me they haven't really revamped this one in a hot, long time. Yeah, this was all old TSR stuff. Yep. Nope. They never Wizards of the Coast never revisited the setting. Which I'm not shocked by. It's you look at it and you can almost anticipate the casual racism that such a setting would imply. And it was fine at the time because we didn't know better and because the world was a lot smaller. But today it's just like, no, it's just there's no reason for something like that. Oh, this is Oxid. Hannibal. Previews, anything that we recognize that it's good. On the Dark 2. Probably not good these days, but notable. Yeah, no, that's where we are. Playing lately, Doom. Hell yeah. What got patched? Anything we like got patched? Gabriel Knight CD-ROM update. Fixed all known problems and speeds up to the game restoring process. Wanna be a hero? Go to hell. Fun game. And that's it. Um, yeah. So, as usual, these earlier issues, we don't have as many games that resonate. It's just the nature of the product. I was not into gaming at this time on PC. Partly because I was only less than 10 years old. What is this, 94? Yeah, less than 10 years old. So, I would not have been able to read a magazine like this, let alone pick games based on it. But it's interesting to discover some games that I've heard of or that I've never heard of that look interesting, like War in Middle Earth. Um, the Star Saga one, honestly, it's just the ad that really sold me on it. And here, Elder Scrolls Arena, you know of it because of Skyrim, but have you ever actually played it? The Horde, I've never heard of. I had not even realized that Toys for Bob was alive. So, yeah, a couple of interesting games for us to check out at some point. I'm working on the idea of sort of doing a companion series where we try out some or all of the listed games in one of these required reading episodes for like half an hour each to get an idea of what they look like, what they play like. So keep on the lookout for that. In the meantime, thank you for watching. Remember, you can find these issues yourself on the Computer Gaming World Museum website, which is linked below. Feel free to leave a comment below. Let me know if you like this shorter version of the required reading episodes where we kind of skip the stuff that I know I'm not interested in instead of trying to force my way through it. If you prefer the old version, let me know as well. Because I might just then go back and try and dive a little deeper and maybe learn a little more from these issues instead of just. My worry is finding a right balance between me having a bias over games that I know about versus me wasting a lot of your time by just reading through impenetrable articles about things that I don't care about and that I don't have the basis to understand. So let me know where on the balance you fall, if you like this version required reading more or the earlier ones more, and I'll try to find a common middle ground for us to meet in. In the meantime, make sure to like and subscribe on the channel. Make sure to check out the other two channels as well. The Twitch channel, twitch.tv/games with Nick. I will be streaming a little more often until the end of May, and then I'll probably be gone for like a full month and a half to 2 months because I'm getting married and I'm going on my honeymoon, so good reasons for it. But there will still be on the YouTube channels content regularly posted. And then make sure to check out youtube.com/@gameswithnick for some full playthroughs of older games. As usual, thank you for watching. This is Nick signing off, saying, let's keep retro playing together.